Loose versus tight. This is where a lot of the confusion happens. So we think that after we've had babies, everything is just open and everything is loose and that we're lacking in muscle tone. And occasionally this is the case. Occasionally we do have more elasticity in the muscles of our pelvic floor, throughout the vaginal cavity, and throughout the pelvic bowl itself. However, sometimes what our body does is it actually creates a trauma response. So, in healing from delivery, whether that delivery be a vaginal delivery or a C section, our body responds by sending all of our tissues there to really repair, and it kind of creates what would be similar to like a scar. Or if an athlete were to tear a hamstring, that muscle is not going to be loose, it's going to react by being tight. And that's our body's natural response to an injury. If we get a cut, our body is going to send all of the cells there and it's going to repair it and create a thick scar or a point of tension. And our pelvic floor does the same thing. So tightness can come from any type of trauma, whether that is from a delivery, any sexual experiences, or it can also happen because of our emotional state and how we are holding that tension in our body. Some signs of emotional tension being held in your pelvic floor is TMJ, or if you're experiencing the tightness in your jaw, if you have really shrugged shoulders, maybe the tightness up in your rib cage. Those are all signs that your body is hanging on to tension in a physical manner. And that is also relating to your pelvic floor. So if you are stress incontinent, which would mean if you are laughing, coughing, jumping, sneezing, and that's the only time you're experiencing incontinence, it may be a tightness issue. If you're having painful intercourse, like you just can't quite relax those muscles, lower back pain is also a common sign of a tight pelvic floor. And then on the other hand, that loose weakness, or I prefer the term underactive pelvic floor muscles, is when we're just having a really hard time connecting. And so a lot of times that lower belly pooch and pubic symphysis pain or urinary frequency and urgency, those are all usually a sign of a loose pelvic floor. And loose and tight kind of goes back and forth because it is possible to have tightness in the front of the pelvic floor muscles and weakness in the back, or vice versa, and tightness on one side and being underactive on the other side. So luckily this course is going to give you exercises that are going to take you through that full range of motion and help you, even if you're not able to necessarily diagnose whether the muscles are tight or loose, you're going to be able to rehab them based on going through that full range of motion.